Welcome to the tutorial on MOS FET small signal operation and model presented by Mellow Outlook. To begin with, we will look into the conceptual circuit which is shown here, wherein we make use of N-channel enhancement type MOS FET, and we are going to bias this MOS transistor by applying a DC voltage represented as VGS and an input signal that is to be amplified represented by small VGS, which is superimposed on the DC bias voltage VGS, and the output will be taken out from the drain, which is represented as VDS. So this together voltage, as you can see, is represented as VGS. This is the AC equivalent of the voltage, this is the DC voltage, and here we obtain the AC amplified version of the input, which is taken out from the drain. From this conceptual circuit, we try to obtain the DC bias point. The DC bias current ID can be found by setting the signal VGS to be equal to 0, and we obtain ID to be equal to half Kn VGS minus VT the whole square. We have seen in the tutorial of Introduction to MOS FET what are these various parameters corresponding to Kn VGS minus VT, and this VGS minus VT is equivalent to the overdrive voltage, which is represented as VOV. So VOV is equal to VGS minus VT, and VDS is equal to VDD minus ID into RD, which is obtained by applying KVL to this part of the circuit. So if we want to ensure that this circuit operates in the saturation region, we should see to it that the value of VDS is greater than the overdrive voltage. So these equations, as you can clearly see, are represented in terms of the uppercase letters to indicate that they correspond to the DC values. And if you can recall from the tutorial of the fundamentals of transistors, we have clearly shown the difference in representation for AC and DC current and voltages. Moving on, next is the signal current in the drain terminal. If we assume that we are applying VGS as an input signal, then the total instantaneous gate to source voltage will be VGS equal to VGS plus VGS. And this is very clearly evident in this particular circuit, wherein we have represented VGS to be equal to the summation of the DC voltage and the AC voltage, and the equation for the instantaneous value of drain current will be equal to half of Kn into VGS plus VGS, that is this total voltage, minus VT square. See, if you look at this particular equation 2, ID is equal to half Kn VGS plus VGS minus VT the whole square. This term basically is obtained because our total instantaneous gate to source voltage is the sum of VGS plus small VGS. When we are going to find out the instantaneous value of the drain current, we substitute in place of VGS to be equal to VGS plus VGS minus VT the whole square. And because we want to segregate the DC component and the AC component, what we are going to do is we will consider VGS minus VT to be one term and this small VGS to be another term. So we have in turn VGS minus VT, which is one single term, plus VGS. So it is equivalent to saying A plus B the whole square, where A is equal to VGS minus VT and B is equal to this small VGS. So we know the equation for A plus B the whole square. In mathematics, A plus B the whole square will be equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB. So you can see the equivalent of this equation 2 is split up as A square, that is VGS minus VT square, plus B square, that is VGS square, plus 2AB. So because you have half Kn, so that is why half into 2 will get cancelled and you have Kn into Vgs minus Vt into Vgs, which remains term. If you look at this particular equation 3, the first term will indicate the DC bias current, that is ID. The second term will indicate the current component, which will be proportional to VGS, and the third term is a nonlinear distortion which can be ignored. If we want to reduce the amount of the nonlinear distortion which is introduced by the MOSFET, what we do is this term, that is the last third term, is considered to be very, very small in compared to the second term, and just by cross multiplying we get this as VGS to be equal to 2 times VGS minus VT, because here VGS gets cancelled, here one VGS gets cancelled, this 2 gets multiplied here, Kn and Kn gets cancelled. So what we have is finally VGS is very, very less than 2 times VOV. This is because VGS minus VT is equal to the overdrive voltage. So from the equation 4, what we see is that this particular term is the small signal condition that needs to be satisfied, and it is obtained by neglecting the last term in the equation. So we have finally the instantaneous value or the total value of the drain current ID to be equal to the DC current plus the current component which is proportional to VGS, and this is represented as ID, and this is named as equation number 5. Next, coming to MOSFET transconductance GM. This will be dealt very much clearly in the further tutorial, but here let us see how we have obtained. So from the circuit we know VGS is the input voltage that has to be amplified and ID is the drain current that we obtain. So GM, that is transconductance, is the ratio of current by voltage, so output current by input voltage, and we get this as equal to Kn into VGS minus Vt. So in terms of the overdrive voltage, I can write this as GM to be equal to Kn into VOV, which I am naming it as equation number 7. So from the graphical interpretation, what I observe is that VGS is corresponding to the instantaneous value of the signal which is varying about the DC bias point, and the corresponding value of the output drain current is also instantaneous value which varies about the DC bias point Q. And if you observe from the ID versus VGS characteristics, if you draw a tangent to the curve, we can obtain the slope at which the variation occurs, and this slope will give us the value of the MOSFET transconductance, which is represented as GM. So GM is equal to dou ID by dou VGS for a condition where VGS is equal to the DC value VGS, the voltage gain. If you see from the circuit, we have VDS which is equal to VDD minus ID into RD, and under the small signal condition we have VDS is equal to VDD minus RD multiplied with ID plus ID, and this we have seen in the earlier derivation that we have done, and that is why we can write this equation as VDS is equal to VDS minus RD into ID. So thus the signal component of the drain voltage will be obtained as VDS to be equal to minus ID into RD, and we know that this is equal to minus GM into VGS into RD. So this is obtained because if you can recall, GM is equal to ID divided by VGS. So we have rearranged this value of GM and obtained this particular equation. And this equation indicates that the voltage gain is given by VDS divided by VGS, that is output voltage divided by the input voltage, and this is equal to minus GM into RD. This negative sign basically indicates that the output signal VDS is 180 degree out of phase with respect to the input. Next is separating the DC analysis and the signal analysis. So here, as you can see, we have plotted the two graphs differently, wherein we have plotted VGS, that is the voltage gate to source, and the voltage across the drain to source. So you can see we have the drain to source voltage, which is an amplified version of the input voltage which is applied between the gate and the source. One main observation is that there is a 180 degree phase shift between the input and the output, which is clearly evident in the graph. And the two equations which are of more importance to us is the instantaneous value of the drain current, which is your output current, and the drain to source voltage VDS, which is given here. So mainly in these two graphs you can see that there is an amplification plus there is a 180 degree phase shift, and the minimum value of this peak will be equal to VGS minus VT, whereas the maximum value of this peak will be less than VDD. And here, as you can observe, the variation in the input voltage is denoted as VGS, whereas the DC voltage is denoted as capital VGS. So from this particular graph we can clearly segregate the DC value and the instantaneous value of voltage. Next is the small signal equivalent circuit model. So if you see here, there are two figures, figure A and figure B, and here we have considered an N-channel enhancement type MOSFET, wherein we have the three terminals, the gate, the source and the drain, and the input voltage that we are applying between the gate and the source is denoted in terms of the VGS, gate to source voltage, the instantaneous value, and the drain current that is observed at the output side is represented in terms of the current symbol, and we know that GM is equal to ID by VGS, so you have ID which will be equal to GM into VGS. So the figure A basically will be neglecting the dependence of ID on VDS in the saturation region. But you know that the DC drain current depends upon VDS in the linear manner, and this dependence can be modeled in terms of a finite resistance which is represented as R0, and this resistance R0 is between the drain and the source. So this equation R0 is given by VA divided by ID, and this VA is equal to 1 by lambda. Typically the value of R0 will range between 10 kilo ohms to 1000 kilo ohms, and the equation for the DC value of drain current is represented as half Kn into VOV the whole square. So to find out or to understand what is this VA, kindly refer to the MOSFET introduction tutorial. So moving on, we have the circuit B, the small signal equivalent circuit B, wherein we have included a resistance R0 which is connected in between the drain and the source. So what this resistance R0 does is it basically improves the accuracy, and this will be connected in parallel with the controlled source. So you can see that this is the controlled source, so we have connected it in parallel with the controlled source. So because we have R0 which is included, therefore the overall gain will be equal to VDS by VGS, which earlier was minus GM into RD, but now because we have R0 included, so it will be equal to minus GM into RD parallel with R0. Therefore what we understand from this figure B is that this resistance R0 connected between the drain and the source will reduce the value of the gain, which is represented as AV. Now to compute the MOSFET transconductance. If you remember, we had computed the value earlier in the same tutorial. If you look at the few slides earlier, we have seen the equation of the transconductance, which was given as GM is equal to Kn into VGS minus VT. Now if you substitute Kn to be equal to Kn dash into W by L, we obtain the equation as Gm to be equal to Kn dash W by L, and this VGS minus VT is the overdrive voltage. So this we will name this as equation 1, and we know that Kn dash is equal to mu n into COX, where COX is the oxide capacitance and mu n corresponds to the mobility. W by L corresponds to the aspect ratio of the MOS transistor. So we can write the equation of the transconductance as mu n COX W by L into VOV, which I am naming it as equation number 2. And we also know the equation for the DC drain current is equal to half Kn into VOV the whole square. So this can be written as VOV is equal to square root of 2 times the drain current in terms of DC values divided by Kn dash into W by L, which is given in equation number 3. So if I substitute this equation number 3 in equation number 1, I can obtain a better value of the transconductance, and that is done here. As you can see, Gm is equal to Kn dash W by L into square root of 2 times ID divided by Kn dash W by L, and this is named as equation number 4. What we have done here is that we have retained 2ID as it is. Kn dash we have multiplied it and divided, so that is why we have obtained Kn dash into W by L outside. So in turn we obtain the value of transconductance, which is proportional to square root of the DC drain current multiplied with the transistor aspect ratio. So from this equation what we understand is that for a given MOSFET, the transconductance will be proportional to the square root of the DC bias current, and at a given DC bias current ID, Gm will be proportional to the square root of the transistor aspect ratio. And the two important things to be noted here is that the transconductance Gm of a MOSFET is a geometry dependent, whereas BJT is not. Moreover, the transconductance of the BJT will be much higher than that of the MOSFET. So these two important points are the basic difference between the transconductance of the MOSFET and the BJT. Now continuing with the equation 4 that we have obtained, we know that the DC drain current ID is equal to half Kn into VOV the whole square, which is given in equation 5, and we also know that Gm is equal to Kn into VOV. So if we rearrange the equation 5, we have 2ID is equal to Kn VOV into VOV, which is termed as equation number 7. And if we compare the two equations, equation 6 and equation 7, we have the common term, that is Kn into VOV, and comparing we have 2ID to be equal to Gm into VOV, or Gm is equal to 2 times ID divided by VOV. So from the graph we can see that the tangent to the curve at the DC bias point Q is giving us the value of the VOV axis where it intersects at half VOV. So we can see that Gm, the slope, is equal to ID divided by half VOV, or in other words Gm is equal to 2ID by VOV. Thank you for watching.